Hello, I'm Stephen Gerard, the Healthy Waterman, and no matter what you're doing to better your health, if the foundation water is of poor quality, it is not possible to get the full benefit from your efforts. That's a fact. And right now in this country, children are dying at a faster rate of cancers than the adults are. So, you know, with everyone that's quit smoking, which they've tried to rely so much on how much smoking is making people sick and causing cancers and everything else, how come children are dying 3 to 1? In fact, there's been reports that children younger than 2 have a 10 times greater chance of developing cancer than an adult does. Okay, so they're not smoking, they're not doing everything an adult does. So what is it? The one common denominator is your bath and shower. Because I don't care what you do, the largest number of contaminants that enter your body are in your bath and shower. It's not from drinking the water, it's in your bath and shower. You're going to want to buy something for your home that you know that your family is safe with. And the way you know that is to know what is on the inside of the water system. Because there's a lot of water systems out there. And the thing is, if you don't know what the water's actually coming in contact with, you don't know what the system is doing. So they can make all this great creative writing that they have out there on all these systems, and they sound like they get a little shower head filter will do what the Ultimax Alliance will do. There's no way on the planet. And then of course these people out here that are selling these softeners, okay? I don't know what makes anyone want to turn fresh water into salt water and run it through the plumbing of the house, because it destroys plumbing. And if you go on the website, you can look up with all these companies that sell those things, how many lawsuits are out there for premature depletion of the plumbing. It will eat up the plumbing. And a lot of it's acidic water, because they always put a reverse osmosis on the sink for you to drink, because they know you can't drink the salt water. And the reverse osmosis is acidic dead water. And when you put acidic dead water into your body, it's going to pull the calcium out of your bones and your teeth, because it makes your body acidic. And the more acidic your body, the more it pulls out of your bones and your teeth. So you got to have alkaline water, and you want water with all the bad contaminants removed, because the contaminants in our tap water are very serious. And now I'm not talking about any certain place in this country. If you're on any municipal system, the standards set by the Environmental Protection Agency are set on a risk factor. They know they're going to hurt you. It's just how many years they give them. So if you want to protect your family, you make sure you get something like the Ultimax Alliance on your home. I don't care what you do. Anything's better than nothing. But if you buy these cheap, inexpensive type of things when you first buy them, then you'll find out they're much, much more expensive than anything else. Because if you got to change the filters on time, and if you don't change the filters on time, the water becomes more dangerous. You have to have that done. And if you don't, and that's why so many people are, you know, they're getting different kind of bile intestinal infections and things, and they don't know where they're coming from. I tell them you better check the filters you have in your house. With the Ultimax Alliance, you don't have to worry about that. It self-cleans, self-sterilizes. And there's one thing about it. It has everything in it. Every other system on the internet only has part of. How can it not be the best? I have the Ultimax in 37 states plus Vienna, Austria, Mexico, Canada, and England. So if you want to order now, give us a call at 903-326-1103 or visit us at healthywaterman.com. The Ultimax is designed with 13 stages. Now we call it 13 stages because there's 13 different things that your water actually comes in contact with. A lot of companies will tell you that they have more stages, but what they do is they'll take something like one of the carbons that does 2 or 3 different things or 4 or 5 different things, and they count each one of those as a stage. No. The Ultimax, if you did that, you'd have 30 or 40 stages. You have 13 stages that your water actually comes in contact with. There's different types of carbons, and you got to have the different carbons, because one type of carbon is going to take care of chlorine and trihallomethanes, and the other one's going to take care of chloramines and DBPs. And if you have one that just, like most of these filters, just have one type of carbon in them, half of the time you're not protected, because a lot of the companies, water companies, they switch half of the time to chlorine, half the time to chloramines, trying to figure out a better way to do the water at a cheaper expense. You know, understand this. I don't ever talk against the water companies. They have to put chlorine in our water. They have to. But it's the paradox, okay? You put it in there to kill the live organisms, But what you put in there, we are a live organism. It's just opened a Pandora's box of medical dangers. So you definitely want to remove that from the water. You want to remove the chlorines. You want to remove the herbicides, the pesticides, and all of this. And that's why the Ultimax was designed mimicking the natural hydrological cycle of the earth. That's why when you go on the internet, it'll show you each stage that it actually goes through what your water's coming in contact with. And the new system, the new Ultimax Alliance, the twin tank, now even has to where you can adjust the amount of oxygen you're putting into your water. You got all the different stages, you're removing all the bad stuff and you're leaving the good. And you're even protected against viruses because the new one style even has the UV. So if you go on the internet, you'll see that the Ultimax has everything in it, every other system only has part of. So if you want the best, give us a call at 903-326-1103. Isn't your family worth it? The way the Ultimax came about is I've sold for many of these other companies for years. And I had a medical problem. And when I started looking into why I had that medical problem, I found out how important water really was. And the thing is, I didn't know there were so many different types of water and what they do to you. And this is the reason that I actually designed the Ultimax. Because when I started in business, I would go behind junkyards and get all of these other systems and build them. Because I was in business just selling water systems. But the thing is, because of the medical problem and learning about water, I took the softener and RO out of my house, the reverse osmosis I took out of my house. Because I did not want salt water running through the plumbing of my house and destroying it, which would not be even good for my health or high blood pressure. And I did not want the reverse osmosis with acidic dead water. And like I said earlier, what it does to you is that acid dead water is going to help put your body into an acid state. And in order for your body to make bicarbonate to neutralize acid, it's going to pull the calcium out of your bones and your teeth. The effects that it had on my medical condition, even the skin problems, the psoriasis stuff that I had, disappeared when I designed this, okay? And albeit I do put olive oil too on my skin, but I just don't have the problem anymore. And at one time you could see my knuckles and stuff, okay? So that's one of the reasons that you want to have good, healthy water. And there is a difference. And you see these gurus out there, they're telling people a lot of things about health and things to do about their health and everything. But when you read their books and stuff, they'll tell you to go to a reverse osmosis. They don't know water and what kind of water you get from the different systems. This is what's so important. You want absolutely chemical-free, maintenance-free, because believe me, the maintenance is going to be a whole lot different on an Ultimax compared to anything out there, because these other ones have filters to change and membranes to change, and they got to be sterilized and all of this kind of stuff. Because if they come in and they change the filters on something and they don't sterilize the inside of that reverse osmosis, the water can actually become more dangerous. So this is a big expense, and people will spend more money in the service and maintenance on a water system than they ever spent for it in the first place. I had one of my customers who had a house up in, I think it was Colorado. And in his house, he had 2 bathrooms. And he had shower head filters on those, you know, the type you screw on the shower head. And then he had a couple under the sinks in the bathroom, and he had one in the kitchen under his sink there. Well, when he added up what it would take him to replace those for the 25 years the Ultimax Alliance is warranted for, it was over 2.5 times the amount of the price of the Ultimax. So if you want the best for your family, install the Ultimax, because in the future, I promise you, you'll be glad you did. The service and maintenance on the Ultimax is the least out of anything on the internet right now. So if you want the best for your family, install it. Go to the website, healthywaterman.com, or give us a call at 903-326-1103. In either place, we'll take your order. Let me tell you what some of my customers have experienced since they've had the water system in their home. One of them had cancer. He was in his 4th stage, okay? He found out that water was the foundation of his health, and that's where he started. Well, doing that and doing the other things that he did naturally, he's walking over 19 years now totally free of lymphoma cancer. I have another 9-year-old boy that we did up in Vermont Okay, women that have it in their house, especially those that dye their hair, they love it because the dye stays in their hair longer. People that have problems, my customers that have problems with the skin, itching or psoriasis and stuff, they love it. All right, and especially one of my customers that doesn't live too far from here, when we put it in the house, he told me, he says, man, I did not want this. No way was I going to put this in my home, but my wife made me do it. He says, and after I put it in, he says, I did notice that the coffee did taste better. He says, I like that. He says, and you know, a couple things, the shower felt a little different. He says, but he says, until now, I never knew that the system really did what it did. And what that was is we were moving the system from his house to his new house. And when we cut the lines, and you could see the difference in the lines going in from the city and out to his house, he said, now I'm convinced. And this is a picture of it. You know, most people only think about drinking the water. That's why the bottled water business is so big. But the largest number of contaminants that enter your body from anywhere are in your bath and shower. It's not from drinking it. Studies show that you actually have to drink water for about 5 years to get the same contaminants into your body within 1 month of showering or bathing. So, you know, if you want to have a healthier, better quality of life, you make sure that your family is bathing in healthy water. Believe me, make the change, put the Ultramax in, and I promise you, in the future, you'll be so glad you did, especially when you see the people that didn't. And we stand behind what we do. If you ever had any kind of problem, I promise you, I don't care where you're at, things will get taken care of, and I can show you some of my customers where we have already done that. So let me tell you one more time how to order. You can get to us through healthywaterman.com, or you can give us a call at 903-326-1103, and we finance.